Namaste, good morning, everyone, dear sisters and brothers. Greetings to you all. And I welcome you all for today's session of Young Indian Philanthropist that we have been organizing for quite some years now. And before we proceed with today's talk, let us all come together in heart and mind for the universal invocation. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May all who feel themselves as one with thee know they are therefore one with every other. Welcome again, everyone. And as you are aware that today's session of YIT is based on a very practical subject: morality, emotions, virtues, and vices. These are the things that our mind keep grappling with every day in certain situations. And this is a talk that is in continuation with the last part that was on ethics. And to share his thoughts and understanding on this subject, we have among us very distinguished member of the Theosophical Society, Brother U.S.Pandey ji. He is a devoted and popular theosophist, a speaker, writer, and currently serving as the president of the Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand Federation of the Indian section of the Theosophical Society, and has been serving Theosophical Society for more than over 2 decades. He has written a couple of books. First one was in Hindi, Theosophy Ke Aayam, which was a collection of his articles, and then the recently published book, Theosophical Blooms, which also has 25 articles in English written by him based on his deep study of theosophical literature. Also, Brother U.S.Pandey ji has been the recipient of the Radha Bernier Award for the Theosophist of the Year in the year 2022, which was conferred by the Indian section. So without taking any further time, I request Brother U.S.Pandey ji to share with us his thoughts on this subject. Pandey ji.
Thank you, Brother Shikharji, for introducing the topic and me. First of all, I extend my hearty greetings to all dear brothers and sisters who participating in today's session. I welcome them all. As Brother Shikharji told, that my talk today is in continuation of the last talk on ethics, and there will be a series of talks in this subject to cover it comprehensively. As you all know, today is the birthday of Dr. Annie Besant, our second president, great theosophist, great public leader, both social reformer, educationist, all that multifarious personality. And she was particularly emphasizing in her teachings on morality, ethics, not only among, especially among young people, because she felt unless the morality and ethics and are followed properly and understood properly, then otherwise the life of person will not be successful, will not be meaningful. And that's why she wrote many articles, many books on this subject. Today, what I'm going to share with you, mostly partly her views and partly from other sources which I have gained during my study, I will share with you. Subject, as you know, morality, emotion, virtues, and vices. These are four aspects which are interrelated. Emotion is derived from the Latin root to move. Move. Emotion is derived from move, motion. Becomes a motive power in man, moving him towards and away from external objects. Whichever object we like, we move towards it. Whichever object we do not like, object or person, we try to move away from it. So always there is motion, whether towards or away, depending on whether we like or dislike. And what is this emotion? This is the part of the spirit itself, which expresses as will in the higher worlds, directed by the reason from within, and is desire in the lower worlds. Emotion is derived from the will, which is spiritual power, the spirit itself, and the lower world becomes desire. Therefore, emotions will be also of two nature, higher nature and lower nature. This is the emotion is drawn out by the objects which attract and repel by causing pleasure or pain. Under these two headings of attraction and repulsion, for all desires, whether we are desires repulsive type or attractive type. We have love desires and hate desires. Love and hate, these are the primary emotions, Mahatma says, primary emotions of the humanity in this world. And proportion of this love, hate, and love constitute different multitude type of emotions expressed in our relations with our fellow beings. So we have love desires and hate desires. The love desire will make us to wish to be united with, and hate desire would make us to apart with it, maybe the person, other person, or the thing. The primary desire in man are love desires, seeking for union with the objects, which we maintain and carry on the body, like union with food. We like food, then we join ourselves with the food. We drink with the opposite sex. These are the inevitable conditions of the prolongation of the personal and racial existence. The love desires, ultimate purpose of love desires is prolong our existence, not only personal, but racial also. And become wrong only when, but this also, love desires also become wrong when it becomes excessive, when it becomes possessive, when it becomes warranting, and when we try to inflict injury on somebody because that person is not responding to my love desire. The desires into which intelligence largely enters mental gratification predominating over sense gratification. Then when we come from the, earlier we talked about sense desire, like food, sex, and all those things. When we come up at the mental level, then we have love desire with the things, with the literature, with the philosophy, which attract us. And we have got hate desire with the love, philosophy, and things which repel us, we do not like. And there, whatever we like, we try to satisfy our mental faculty, mental desire with that. So mental gratification is involved in the love desire and mental love. And with that desire, we also have tried to benefit others, to impart or distribute or share that knowledge with others. That is also because of love desire. Because whatever we like to share with all, not only with close people, kith and kin, but with all. Then it becomes the love desire permanently established, permanently practiced, become a beneficent action, beneficent habit. Morality consists in the nurture and regulation of the love emotion, all the moral principles come from the love emotion. When we nurture the love emotion, out of which virtues are developed, and then specific virtues are developed. And in curbing and eradication of the hate emotion, out of which vices grow. Hate emotions result into vices growing in nature, in our nature, and therefore it is important to curb the hate emotion. It is said that even we should not hate even our enemy. That is what Jesus Christ says. Even we should try to love our enemy. That is the highest form of love. If one can love his or her enemy. Okay, hate even towards enemy causes our personality, our development, our evolution hindrance. Desires draw human beings together into a society, but they also drive them violently apart when there is differences apart. And that's why at the savage level, at primary level, when it becomes just from animal zone, we are entered the human kingdom, there is savage state. At that time, the emotions are violent. Either when the love is there, too much possessive, or when the hate is there, too much destructive, it happens. And if we can see in the history, most of the wars have happened, whether you can see Mahabharata war, or Ramayana war, or earlier war, whatever mentioned in earlier epic also, they have simply arisen from hate emotion. Somebody expressed hate emotions against somebody, and there's a feeling of revenge, and finally led to the war. Among savages where physical desires are strong and intelligence weak, these emotions cause havoc sometimes and society degenerates. So that's why development of intellect, intelligence, vivek is important. And as the evolution proceeds, that naturally those development occurs. But at certain stage, when we feel the necessity of developing our intellect and vivek, it becomes our primary duty to develop those faculties so that we use our emotions in a proper way, love emotions and curb our hate emotions. And intelligence grows, desires are refined with emotions, and those which belong to the love class are the constructive and binding force in the society. So all the great avatars and paigambars, they come to propagate the love emotion. Maybe Buddha, maybe Krishna, maybe Christ, maybe Jesus, maybe Muhammad, maybe none. Thus, love between the man and women creates a family. The love between parents and children, brothers and sisters, hold it together. The family is a group of persons united by love and growing out of love relation. The families are drawn together to form a group, community, and community forms a nation, and nations form the world, samsara. Many communities make a province, many province nations, that all that building of larger and larger group is result of the love emotion. The hate emotions work in exactly the opposite direction. They break up families, they break up communities, they break up nations, and finally they break up whole humanity. That is also, if we see history, it occurs sometimes. In human history, in human society, emotions of both kinds are found. Love emotions and hate emotions. If love emotions preponderate, the society grows and prospers. If the hate emotions prevalent, society declines and degenerates. Hence, the enormous importance of implanting and cherishing during youth all the virtues that grow out of love emotion. Love emotion is the source of all virtue, and therefore it is more important during youth period when the mind is getting trained to develop love emotion, to discourage hate emotion. And with that process only, the vices will be eradicated and virtues will develop. Even the emotions on the love side may prove a source of danger, as I mentioned earlier. If any elements from the hate side, like monopoly, exclusiveness, uh, covetousness, possessiveness, envy, etc., involved in love emotions, then love emotions also becomes powerful. So, an excessive of love emotions, as I told, also causes harm to the other person. It has been compared as a river current is necessary to flow for fertility of the valley. But if river overflows its banks, it causes havoc due to flood, and the whole crop gets destroyed. So emotions, love emotions, fluctuating love emotions are also not desirable. Emotions should be, even love emotions should be stable and should be not possessive, not causing injury to anybody, and not excessive. But this fact must not blind us to the truth but ultimately we must have in mind that love emotions are only source of harmony and order in the society, in the family, in oneself. When human beings come together, whether in a family or in a society, mutual relations arise. And that's why one of the description of religion is to develop proper relations. And these become more numerous, more complex. Out of the mutual relations, out of mutual relations, the behavior and conduct develop towards others. Duty, and then we feel our duty. The mutual relations causes duty. All the relations ascribe or define our duty. Relation may be with younger, maybe with equal persons, with the senior. So they define our duty. So you can see emotions leading to the virtues or vices, and emotions out of also leading to our duty of emotion. Duty is that which ought to be done. But Brodsky said duty is that which is due to humanity. So if a person starts loving entire humanity, then his duty becomes to entire humanity. If he's loving only family members, then duty is to family only. So duty at every level, at family members, friends, and whole humanity, and also towards our, as I told you, towards enemy, we have got duty. So, and that must be done. A man is born into family, a community, a nation, and therefore he has duty towards all these things. He has duties towards all elementals, all kingdoms, like animal kingdom, plant kingdom, elemental kingdom, even angelic kingdom. A righteous man discharges his duties honorably and becomes a bond, building a close relation with not only his own family, but whole society and whole creation. He realizes interdependence and interrelatedness. When the mood of the emotion, which arises spontaneously out of love for an individual and expresses itself in beneficent action towards that individual, becomes a fixed habit, expressing itself in beneficent action towards every person contacted, then the fixed and generalized emotion mood is called virtue. Fixed and generalized emotion is called virtue. As example, then if I love somebody, I will do something good for him or her. If I encourage our circle of love and always try, then always will try to beneficent action for others. And out of that, the virtue of beneficence will develop. A love emotion made permanent and universal is a virtue. A father loves his child, mother loves his child, and he spontaneously does all he or she can for the welfare of the child. When he does for any stranger child what he does for his own child, he shows the virtue of benevolence. So benevolence is showing love emotions towards all, even towards a stranger, particular. On the opposite side, when the mood of the emotion which arise out of hatred becomes permanent, and generally they are called vices. So hate emotions, regular, many times practice hate emotions, becomes develop vices, and love emotions develop virtue. The virtues are fixed love emotions, vices are fixed hate emotions. Love emotions lead to unity, and vice lead to the disunity, disorder. Because love is the expression of oneself. Christ says, God is love. So oneself means it, absolute principle, God is love. The real God is love, and virtue spring from this one. Therefore, love emotions directly emanate from that God principle, God head. And love emotions are also converted into forms of truth. Truth is basic, and every virtue springing from the reality must have truth as a constant part. Hatred, which ignores the unity and springs from the illusory sense of separateness, is fundamentally unreal, untrue. Virtues are forms of the truth. Vices are forms of false. Virtues are permanent. Vices are passing, transient. The truth endures forever, which while falsehood vanishes away. So finally, there is a link, emotion, vices or virtues, then habits, beneficent, and finally it leading to truth or falsehood. And I know truth becomes when follow a person for truth, he follows the right path. So that way, understand the nature emotions and practice of love emotions is important. Now we can see some points about classification of virtues and vices. Up to now, we have seen how the virtues and vices develop out of proper guided emotion uh, and habitual emotion. Now we come to the classification of virtues and vices. Broad divisions of virtues and vices we have got springing from the emotion of love and hate that we have seen, are constructive and destructive emotions. The subdivisions of those in relation to the others are conventionally suggested by the phrase about the world which is filled with man's elders, equals, and youngers. In our day-to-day life, in our society, we have to meet and interact with the three categories of people: the persons who are senior to us, elder to us, who are equal to us, and we are younger to. The duty we owe to our superiors, elder means not only in age, maybe superior position, the duty we owe to our superiors, our equals, our inferiors, give us a natural division of virtues and vices. And all subclasses grow out of these. Out of the emotion of love to our superiors, grow all the virtues that are of the nature of reverence. When you express reverence to somebody, either to our senior or to elder person or to some god, that is an expression of love towards the seniors, elders. Those which grow out of the emotion of love to our equals are of the nature of affection. Those which grow out of emotions of love to our juniors, inferiors, are of the nature of benevolence. So love expresses as reverence, affection, and benevolence, depending upon that love is expressed to our senior, elder, equal, or junior, or younger. Similarly, with the vices that grow out of emotions of hate, these show themselves to our superiors in the form of fear. We are afraid. We hate somebody. If it's senior, we are not able to criticize, so we fear. To our equals in the form of anger, to equals we express our anger, and to our inferiors in form of scorn. So hate emotions, which generates vices, which expresses in form of fear, anger, and scorn, depends upon whether we hate the person with senior or equal or inferior or junior or younger to us. In addition to the relations a man has with his surroundings, we must consider what a man should be in himself. Apart from his surroundings, as an individual with certain qualities, these form the settled character. Now, these virtues and vices form our settled character of man or women, and this general character will express itself in specialized virtues and inferiors. Specialized virtues, when it comes into contact with our superiors, equals or inferior. This character should be a general expression of love emotions, controlled by the purified reason and viveka. And this character, every man and woman, every boy and girl must build up. If duty is to be righteously discharged, properly discharged, but sometimes duty is also wrongly discharged, which causes harm to the person towards whom duty is done. And life is to be made a blessing, not a curse, both to themselves and the others. Some of these virtues are can be specified as, in a very real sense, no virtue is wholly self-regarding. Normally, every virtue or vices which a person has, it affects others. But virtues and vices themselves are individual. They are self-regarding. Among the first and foremost virtue is truth. Truth, Satyam Brahma. Truth is God. That's why every philosophy, every deeper philosophy is rising on truth. So first important virtue is truth, truthfulness in our speech, in our emotions, in our action. The truth is foundation of all the virtues. Truth is in thought, in word, and in act. Well, may all join in the sublime invocation, true of promise, true of purpose, true of truth, and dwelling in the truth of truth. The eye of right, truth, spirit, and truth. Refuse we seek in truth deed. So that's why the in every philosophy, truth it has been emphasized. And Mahatma Gandhi only emphasized on Satya and Ahimsa, truth and non-violence. The law is truth, since the plasm in the Bible. By mercy and truth, inquiry is purged, declares the king. Those who know truth in truth and untruth in untruth arrive at truth, says our the Bhagavad Purana. And truth follows noble desire, says Buddha. Lie not one to another, urges the apostle. No man is true, says the prophet, in the truest sense of the word, but he who is true in a word, in deed, and in thought. Here, Prophet Muhammad defines in the Quran the person can be called only true if he is true in speech, in action, and the word. Truth is eternal Brahman, our Upanishad said, Satyam Brahman. Everything rests on truth. All creation is rests on truth. Where truth permeates the character, it shows itself in the relation of life as truthfulness, uprightness, honesty, integrity, righteousness, justice, impartiality, giving rise to trust, confidence, and mutual respect, and building a stable society. If a person is living truth inwardly, then all these characteristics will appear in his character: truthfulness, uprightness, honesty, integrity, righteousness, justice, impartiality. It must never be forgotten that no character can be virtuous if it has not truth for its basis. Even love, when you love somebody, it has to be true love, not the with a mask, not the false love. No character can be virtuous which has no truth for its basis, and that no character can be based when truth is preserved unsullied. It is the root of all true manliness, womanliness, the glory of the hero. That's why you see all the heroes in the history, maybe who have been martyrs, who have been freedom fighters, who have been reformers, they have been invariably following the truth, even at the cost of sometimes anger with society. They question the scriptures, where the scriptures, certain portion of scriptures seem to be false. They also question that and earn the wrath of that society at that time. So falsehood underlines alike the home and nation, poisons the spring of virtue. degrades and pollutes the character. The liar is always weak and always despair. Liar is always insecure. A person is lying. Even psychologists today admit that signs of insecurity, scorn, and contempt follow him. For the building of the character, truth is the sure foundation. No character can build if truth is not primary quality attended to. The next virtue which comes out of the love emotions is self-control, which leads to nice balance, equilibrium, and dignity in the personality, which marks a well-evolved person. Self-control in speech, in action, in thinking is necessary. Self-control implies the recognition by the man that he is the spirit, not the body, and that he rules the matter which he has appropriated for his own purpose. Action is born of mind, speech, and body, and each of these must be brought under control and their energy held in due submission. In order to ensure right activity, purity of mind, of speech, of body are essential for true personality, true manliness, womanliness, and without self-control, these are impossible. Control of mind can be gained only by meditation, and that's why importance of meditation in every system. By persevering effort, by cultivating the habit of attention, by concentrating the thought on the task of the moment in daily life. It is at once the most difficult and most necessary of the achievements, control of mind, and nothing, nothing the character is securely and permanently established so long as the mind is not under control. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna advised Arjuna to have mind control, it is very impetuous, like a wind is blowing. Krishna said, yes, that is correct, but by practice, by abhyas and vairag, it can be controlled. The control of mind is emphasized in every teaching. Control of speech which is truthful, courteous, gentle, suitable, unwounding, pleasant, useful, necessary, will follow fairly easily on the control of mind. Useless, aimless chattering, so common in the modern society, is an abuse of speech. It scatters the mental energy, body energy, weakens the intellectual fibers, and slips readily into gossip, urgent forms of criticism, undesired form of criticism and slander. Gossip, slander, and criticism. A person becomes habitual of these if his speech is not controlled. And these gossips, slander, and criticism cause untold harm to that person and also to the other person. Control of the body includes control of the senses and of all the organs. It implies attention to the law of health, hygiene, and of cleanliness to keep the best possible health is a duty to society. To keep ourselves body healthy is not only a duty to ourselves but to society. Because until our body is healthy, we cannot serve the society even if we strong desire. So keeping body healthy is important duty, and that can come only of the control of senses. In our food, in our drink, in our sex habits, we must have control in our body. We should avoid excessive in everything. That's why Master in one of the letters says 1/3 evil of man develops from these excessive habits in food, drink, and sex relationships. Then sleep, work, exercise, moderate, excessive or no sleep is not recommended. Moderate sleep, moderation is in sleep, in food, in drink, and all habits are recommended. It requires courtesy and good manners, manners which are nicely fitted with the variety of occasions of the life. The self-restraint and urbanity of good breeding is a valued social asset, and it forms part of the control of the body. The next virtue becomes cheerfulness and contentment. These are of great importance alike as being the condition of happiness for the individual. Cheerfulness and content. Cheerfulness is also has been emphasized in various teachings, also in Advocate of Master. If a person is under depression, he cannot be a channel for the energies that are flowing from the higher level. And for shedding happiness on all, we have to be cheerful, even in the most difficult circumstances. We must be content with the situation in life, what we are facing, because that is the whatever situation we face, that is of karmic consequence, and we should face it properly, cheerfully. Truth says the Bible, a merry heart does good like a medicine. A merry heart does good like a medicine. If we smile to somebody who is in distress, it works as a medicine. And that's why Prophet Muhammad said in one place, if you cannot do any other thing to a person, at least smile to him. If you see a long face, a sad face. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. By the sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. Even under favorable circumstances, the discontented is unhappy, whereas even in unfavorable circumstances, contented is happy and satisfied. Let one who desires happiness be controlled, be contented, and perfect contentment is necessary. Then only we can be happy, we can be balanced in all situations. Discontentment is the cause of all sorrow or unhappiness in the society. The next virtue is fortitude and endurance. These are twin virtues, they go together. Somewhat serene, cost than the preceding one, but are essential in the building of the strong character. The man or woman who can face misfortune calmly and without complaint, whom storms do not shake, nor dangers appall, is one to whom all weaker souls instinctively turn for help, for guidance, for shelter. Such a person stands like a rock amid tempestuous waves. When rapid progress is being made, fortitude is a virtue peculiarly necessary, because when our progress is rapid, tests come, we are tested, tried, we are put to trial, and greater circumstances, greater adversities are faced. At that time, this virtue of fortitude and endurance becomes most important. Modern civilizations tends to be overweight. They reduce our energy. The luxury softens the mind as well muscles. The luxury softens the mind as well. And therefore, all the great teachers do recommend a simple life, not luxurious life. Avoid luxury. Thus, therefore, endures hardness, because that puts our hardness. He says frugal. Jesus Christ says to his disciple Timothy in the Bible, frugal, simple living is good, both for body and mind. And to train the body in endurance is to avoid innumerable petty annoyances. In a Panchsheel system of the Buddhism, when it comes additional to Shila, Saptashila, one is to avoid the high bed, high palang, that is also luxurious. Similar training for the mind keeps it equitable among the varying circumstances of life and prevents the mood of the depression, which is so frequent in commitment of the modern civilization. So accumulation of luxurious items, accumulation of the more and more items are not good from the development of the soul. Compare the gay endurance of petty hardship, characteristic with soldier and sailor, with the fretful irritability under the strain often shown by the civilian. Here, it is said that a soldier, if you look at the character of soldier, even in normal civil life, usually he is more restrained in situations where an ordinary civilian gets irritated, gets disturbed. So, it is compared the mind or speech should be controlled as a soldier's control his action while fighting enemy. The wise man disciplines himself self-discipline necessary, and thus is able to meet difficulties with a smile. In the life, everybody faces difficulty. It depends on how we face difficulty. Blotsky says there is only two ways. Difficulty you cannot overcome immediately. There are certain difficulties which can overcome. There are certain difficulties you cannot overcome, probably because our some karmic effect is coming in the way. So he says in this case there are only two ways. Either you go cheerfully and hang yourself like a martyr, or you go with irritation, with unpleasantness, with unhappiness. In the first case, we wipe out our karma. In the second case, we generate more karma. So cheerfulness in facing even most adverse situations becomes important. But cheerful should be inner one, not the simply outer one, smiling. Utter trust in God and law. God is law, law is in God. Utter trust in the God and law. With love to all beings, gives the splendid virtue of fearlessness. Next virtue is fearlessness. Fearlessness. Fear and hatred are essentially one. Blotsky says, fear and hatred are essentially one. A person who is fearless, he will not hate anybody. And a person who hates nothing is never fearful. Where is fear for him who knows the self in one? A person who knows that the same self, same Atman is pervading everywhere. The fear vanishes from his heart and mind. Fearless Brahman. Brahman is fearless, and man is Brahman, so man has to be fearless. And that fear without death and without fear. Then fear also should be fearless at every level. Even fear of death should go. And he who knows the unity shares the fearlessness, or they know that all is well. We should be not afraid in any situation. We should have proper fortitude, patience in every situation. Fearlessness brings in its train all virile virtues and looks out on the world with open, friendly eyes. A fearless person is usually friendly to others. It wins all hearts and draws the timid into the shelter. Serene, calm, and strong, it walks the ways of men. In presence of danger, it becomes courage. Same fearless person, when the danger, actual danger arises, he shows courage. He springs out to meet and to repel. Either he will meet the situation or repel the situation. The state whose citizens are fearless can afford to be generous and magnanimous. A fearless person, it is seen in a study that fearless persons are mostly generous and magnanimous. For the fearless man, neither permits nor shows aggressiveness, but remains strong and peaceful within his own borders. Then with fearlessness is also attached another virtue, important virtue, harmlessness. Is the characteristic of the man who is growing towards perfection, the man who is the friend of every creature, enemy of none. This has ever been the mark of the greatest teachers of mankind. That's why every great teacher has preached and practiced ahimsa. And Mahatma Gandhi gave all the importance to ahimsa. Holy, harmless, undefiled is the description of the Christ given in the epistle. Having compassion on creatures is said to be a Buddha. Harmlessness is the highest duty, declares Bhishma in Mahabharata. Such harmless beings, the embodiments of love, carry a benediction in their very presence, hurting none, injuring none, protecting all. They go to peace. So the matter I've covered, I now share with some quotes from some of the religious scriptures. Chanduk Upanishad says, austerity, liberty, righteousness, kindness, truthfulness, these form the sacrifices. Yajna. Yajna is not the conventional yajna, offering from the fire. Or Chanduk Upanishad says, austerity, liberty, righteousness, kindness, truthfulness, these are the yajna, these are sacrifices. Then another Upanishad say, say what is true. Do not waver. Do not swear from the truth. Do not waver from the truth. Then Manush would say, harmlessness, truth, integrity, purity, control of the senses and mind is the summarized law for the four castes, for all the four castes, four varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. For all them, this is the law. That is what Manush is saying, that every person of every varna has to be harmless, true in dealing, integrity, purity, control of mind and speech. Then Mahabharata Shanti Parva comes, forgiveness, self-possessiveness, harmless, equability, truthfulness, gentleness, all that virtues. Again, emphasize Mahabharata Shanti Parva. Then Bhagavad Gita, Krishna defines so many virtues. When he describes the Asuric and Davic qualities. Then Anugita, the best quality, beneficent to all creatures and unpromised the duty of good, joy, pleasure, nobility, enlightenment, happiness, absence of stinginess, absence of fear, contentment, faith. So here we have seen some of the Hindu scriptures like Upanishads, like Manusmriti, Bhagavad Gita, and Anugita. Now let me quote from some other scripture. Zoroastrian, break not the contract. Contract means promise. Adhering to promise has been also considered a virtue. Whatever we promise, we have to adhere, we have to fulfill, even at the cost of life. There is a Hindi saying, the old story, Pranajaya Parbachanai. And that's why caution is made in Shastra teaching. Don't promise so easily. Think over it, whether you can fulfill or not. If you just say yes, promise becomes a binding force. If you do not fulfill it, creates the karma. So here, break not the contract, break not the promise, neither to one that has entered into which one of the unfaithful ones, not with anybody. You have to break the promise. That is why Zoroastrian behavior in society. Be it known that regular morality is through truth. So, Dinhar, their scripture is saying regular morality is truth. Those who are lovers of truth are doubtless the great helpers of mankind, have foresight and obedience to the omniscient law and Lord. Then Hebrew religion scripture says, behold, thou desirest truth in the inward part. Truth should be in every inward part. That means in our thinking, inner thinking. Also, there should be truthful. We should not indulge and waste time on the wrong thought, wrong philosophy, wrong thought. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness, but a false witness is deceit. The lip of the truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. This is Zoroastrian literature on truth. And Joyful also says, my soul shall be joyful in the Lord, shall be rejoiced in all situations. My soul shall rejoice in all situations. Then Buddhist Dhammapada says, they who know truth in truth and untruth in untruth arrive at the truth and follow the true desire. We must discriminate between true and false. That is why the Gita Master says. So Dhammapada also says the same thing. Speak the truth, don't yield to anger. Give if thou art, ask for little. If somebody asks for little, give him more. By these three steps, what is three steps? Truth, avoiding truth, speaking truth, not yielding to anger, and giving more. These are three steps that will go to near God, nirvana. Buddhist Dhammapada saying these three steps are necessary for traveling to nirvana. Him I call indeed a Brahmana who utters true speech, instructive and free from harshness, so that he offends none. Let no one deceive anger. This is another Buddhist Dhammapada. So this becomes Buddhist one. Then we come to some other form, Christian. Wherefore putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of family of under, so we must be truthful to family members, to our neighbors, to society. For the fruit of his spirit is all goodness and righteousness and truth. This is the Bible saying, lie not one to another, seeking that ye have put off an old man with his. Therefore, let us watch and be sober. So all the then Islamic coming to Islamic, we say, close not the truth with vanity, neither conceal the truth against your own knowledge. Use a full measure and a just balance. Verily, God bids you to justice. O true believers, be patient and strive to excel in patience, and be constant mind and fear, revere God, and ye may be happy. So these are the some quotes which I shared with you to show that all the religions, whether of West or East, whether Indian origin, Chinese origin, or the Semitic origin, they are emphasizing on these virtues which we have discussed earlier. So with this, I think time is over, and I will close this session.
Thank you, Brother U.S.Pandey, for sharing with us in great detail, not only some of the words that are often used in our daily life, but also their interconnection. That yes, virtues in practice is morality, and vices in practice are immorality, but the connecting point is emotions. So depending on the emotions, if it is a selfish emotion or selfless emotion, the person will go in the direction of either the love emotion or hate emotion, as wonderfully described by you, leading up to a virtue or vice. So, and how one can develop and cultivate and the character having these things. So thank you once again, and we still have a couple of minutes. If any of our delegates, sisters or brothers, you want to ask any question or any inputs or feedback, you can speak in Hindi also if you want, and we can have it translated. Just raise your hand or just switch on your video and I'll invite you. Okay. Okay, I think that was very clear. As you said, sir, can you throw some more light on, because sometimes under the surge of emotions, even suppose somebody is practicing something, but during any situation, the person reacts differently. Maybe instead of forgiving, the person tends to feel revenge and maybe do something. So what to do in such situations?
No, the Shikharji, the mindfulness meditation, that's why is recommended in every situation. If you are mindful, that is awareness, as soon as some irritability arises in my mind towards a person, towards a thing, if I'm aware, immediately it is subdued. It doesn't grow into further violent state. So mindfulness and awareness is the most important and most useful means which is recommended as a style of meditation. And this is experience of many people that we practice mindful awareness all the 24 hours. It is possible to control our emotion, surge of emotion, and get it stabilized. It happens naturally also with aging, but not with everybody. I was having some discussion with, in a group. There's a person was talking about another person who was more hard with aging, more hard in opinion and thought. Yes, that is also seen. So I told him, yes, there are two stages. In one extreme, a person ages become more soft, more liberal. But in that extreme, a person becomes more hard, more constricted, and he's not prepared to listen to any other view. That is, and that two things go. So if we practice right kind of meditation, right kind of study, then we may avoid going to the other way, becoming hard, becoming constricted. So that is the part.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And I think since no other question or any thing from our delegates, so once again, I thank you for sharing with us your thoughts on this very practical subject. And I also extend our gratitude to all the delegates who attended today's YIT session. And let us now close this session with a prayer for the welfare of the whole manifestation. Om Sarvesham Swastirбhavatu Sarvesham Shantirбhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Shikhar, and all the brothers and sisters for joining.
And extending good wishes on Annie Besant, Dr. Annie Besant's birthday to all, and have a great day and